Hi, everyone. A very good evening to all of you, and warm welcome on Madhvi's Luxury.co talk show, where we are going to have Nikita Khattar Arya joining us here soon. Nikita Khattar Arya is a multi talented entrepreneur who wears many hats, who has always had a good eye for opportunities with great interpersonal and people skills. So let's all welcome Nikita Khattar Arya.
Hi, Madhvi.
Hi, Nikita. A warm welcome to you on Madhvi's Luxury.co, where luxury meets young, beautiful, dynamic entrepreneur, influencer, fashion exhibition curator, the fairy tales, and also been featured in Forbes magazine. Nikita Khattar Arya, warm welcome to you here.
Thank you so much for such a splendid and a warm welcome. And I must say, I'm so happy to be on your show. Just before coming to this show, I was, generally just going through your profile on your website. And there were so many things that I found out about you. You are amazing. Like, there are so many things I think probably I have to learn from you now that I have learned about you from your
That's
such a
so
great journey that you have had.
Thank you so much, Nikita, and that's so sweet of you. You're doing amazing, and I know you have a long way to go. So you're going to do even much more than what you've already achieved. It's amazing to see you as well. So as you know, Nikita, that I personally believe strongly that everyone has a story, and it would be wonderful today to know your story and your journey.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I will certainly. So, this started, I think I always had the innate in me to be an entrepreneur. I think it was probably built in into me. So, this started when we would go abroad with my parents while I was in school, and I would notice people doing different kinds of jobs and businesses. And, I would try and wonder what it would take to do that sort of a job. I would start calculating. So I was probably, probably 10, 12 years old. And I would see, I would observe what is the kind of business they are doing, what is how they are earning. So, that thing was already inside me that I wanted to learn always. And then going to a very good school, the Air Force School, obviously nurtured a lot in me. Then I started JMC History Honors. For a
Okay.
while, though, I couldn't continue it here because I think I was looking for more. I was looking for something. Maybe I wanted more like a little practical knowledge, and I was thinking that India is probably more like giving us a more theoretical knowledge, and I wanted an exposure, a global exposure. So I
Absolutely.
did my research, and after my research, I figured out that London is the place I would love to go. And I have
Okay.
almost spent a decade in London, and I've done about 2 degrees from London. My first degree was BA Law in Business, which
Wow.
was for about 3.5 years.
Lovely.
Simultaneously, while I was doing that, I stood up for student union elections, and I got elected as a vice president academic officer. I think the
Wow.
journey started from there itself when I was in university. So the kind of exposure I had with globally, with speaking to a lot of people from different cultures and
Right.
diversity, that made me very passionate about work. I was seeing people from very young backgrounds, people from different walks of life, doing so much in
True.
life, and this was so interesting for me to learn so much. And apart from that, then my student union exposure was quite nice because I won that twice consecutively. And
Lovely.
while I won that, so I had a lot of responsibilities. I was almost getting 1.5 lakh rupees paid per month, so that was quite a lot for me when I was probably, I think, 21 years old.
You
And
know,
that gave me a
kick.
sorry.
I said a big
So that
kick.
yeah, that gave me a lot of confidence, that brought a lot of confidence in me that I could do a lot of things on my own. I knew how to spend my money. I started doing small ventures that time. In fact, at that moment while I was studying, I myself became an entrepreneur in university life. So those
Wow.
small things really helped me build my career myself, and then an international MBA that I did from London itself, I think that brushed up all my skills. Then working with
True.
certain immigration firms and working, I think working globally gave me a lot of exposure. And that's what, when I realized that doing any sort of work and putting your heart and soul into it will actually
Right.
work wonders for you.
Absolutely true. Well said, and very, very well, told your journey. Because I personally feel that parents play a major role in shaping us up as individuals. As you said, your foreign trips and also your education, your exposure to the international world. I think the credit goes to the parents also a lot. We all can't deny that
Certainly.
as
Certainly.
how we ultimately do in our lives. And I would like to know from you, Nikita, you're a highly qualified person. And how was your experience like in London when you were there doing your law or your, master's degree, MBA from there? So, how did it change your perception to life completely?
My Like I said, in India, I think, I wouldn't say it for everybody, but most of the parents that I have observed, they spoon feed children here. So the kids are dependent for every little needs of their on their kids. Whereas luckily my father and my mother had a very different view altogether from the beginning. When we were children, they wanted to grow us independently. So while we were abroad, we were given the opportunity to work and earn some pocket monies for our own selves. And I think that was quite that was quite challenging, because when you are in your teens and when you're growing up in your 20s, you work with so many different people from different walks of life, and you learn,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
are we there? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think for
So
a, yeah, please carry on.
yeah.
Yeah, Nikita.
And especially the exposure of education. So like, I believe it's a bit different. The business schools abroad are a bit different. They work on a lot of practical knowledge rather than very theoretical. So it was like, we were told to make projects on our own entrepreneurial sort of projects. So luckily
Okay.
I had done, like probably, I think I'm talking about 15 years back. 15 years back, I knew how to start up I knew how to do how to make a startup, how to run a business, which I probably, when I came back, really helped me. Because firstly, I wasn't afraid of anything. I had that exposure. So when I started Bora Bora. Secondly, the thing was that it really built in a lot of confidence in me. Thirdly, the thing is that what I had learned was never to fear anything, and sort of do things on your own. Just don't be dependent on people. What I have apparently seen here, like, when people do the startups also, they need to go to consultants, they need to go to, I mean, I don't say that is wrong, but they have no knowledge. So people don't do an in-depth research before starting a business. They will hear this is a good business and they will start running behind that business, but they will not study about it. What is going to be the strength of it? What is going to be their own weaknesses? What are the opportunities with that business? What could be the threats? Who are their competitors? These are small core things that one needs to find out. I think spending my time abroad, this is what I have learned. Doing a
Beautiful.
research on something that you want to start or you want to do in life.
Right, absolutely. And there's a question from the audience for you, Nikita, that what is your best takeaway from learning abroad?
My best takeaway, I think, my observation skills and interaction with people is what I would say. This is what made me very confident. And I'll tell you a very funny experience. This happened with me recently, 5 6 years back. So in 2012, we had come up with our own bar, which was Hawaiian themed, Bora Bora Tiki Bar in in Saket, right? So one day I was just sitting there and I was making my bar menu, and I was helping my brother, and we were working. So a lot of people came in and they were like, "Are you the owner of the restaurant, or you work as a manager here?" And I didn't know how to react. I mean, whether I should take that as a comment or a compliment. But the success made me feel so proud of it, that I was doing even the smallest job on my own. of that restaurant, like from taking care of the menus, from guiding my staff to everything. So I feel that what my global exposure has done is has made me feel very confident about smallest work.
Foreign culture, yeah, that kind of gets
Yeah.
dropped on you. You are studying abroad and you're exposed to that world, so you also learn that dignity of labor. There is no harm in looking into small things and small nitty-gritties as well
Yes,
of your own,
exactly. I'm not ashamed of doing anything that I want to do, even be it smallest thing.
Yeah, there's a question from Jyoti, Nikita, for you. Where do you think we are lacking in India?
See, I think where we are lacking in India is probably from the beginning. We don't tell our children to be independent. We don't. We kind of tie them. We think we can manage everything. So we are acting like we keep them as puppets. Like we are the ones who try to think that we can control them. But this is not how the kids are brought up. I think we should guide them in such a way that they can be self dependent when they're even 8 9 years old. We should start filling it into them, be it men, be it women. I think equally, especially women should not be told that they are the only ones who should go into the kitchen. I think we all know the best chefs in the world are all men. So
Absolutely.
I think, yeah, so I think Indian society lacks a little bit out here. The parents
Right.
need to stop spoon feeding their kids.
So that's a good message going to the parents out here. And also, Nikita, like as a VP academic, when you were appointed in London, any of the experiences you can share, in that college while doing law or while doing MBA, something you remember?
Certainly, certainly, there's been a lot of experiences. So, as student union, most people wouldn't know student union is an independent body altogether, which is a part of the university, but independently takes decisions. So, my role was quite a big because being an academic officer, so anybody who needs to, so all the mark sheets that would go through the dean would actually come to us. If anybody's failed, we could actually represent their case and make them. We could discuss with the dean, and so I think largely I've had that sort of a role where people have come to me, have literally pampered me, or literally told me their things, or I've really spoken to a lot of people about their academic careers, and speaking to the dean about if somebody is failing, how we could help them out. So in fact, we started something very interesting. This I probably think a lot of students still don't know is called plagiarism workshops. Plagiarism is a very small word, but it has a lot of large meaning. People copy and paste. I think even in the fashion industry, we see a lot of it, but not many people understand what is plagiarism is. That basically you copy someone's work and you just say it's mine, instead of giving them the sort of that
Credit.
the merit, the credit, and the merit for it. You start saying that this is my work. So we started workshops like such so that people could actually understand that how to produce your own work.
Okay, wonderful. Great. So that was your initiative. That came from you.
That was my initiative, yes, in the university.
Right. And how come you got into the Bora Bora Tiki Bar and the Tiki Bar Hawaiian theme retro bar immediately after coming? You thought about getting into the food industry. So,
I think
I
you
mean,
just said multifaceted. You just said multitasking. I think we women are born with that, and it's kind of very strange. I know it sounds from law to MBA and then coming to a restro bar. It's kind of a very different journey altogether. But I think it was just that my couple of years in, how parents are. Parents want you back. So my parents thought their daughter should come back and stay with them, so they had to bribe me, and the bribing me, they could only think of one thing, was that their daughter was always interested in working in something. She would not come back for anything else. No fancy cars, no big houses, no marriage needs. Her need
only
was only that she could do something interesting.
your passion.
Yes, exactly. So they knew that
Very nice.
this would really mean a lot to her. So that's how Bora Bora started.
Right. And Nikita, you also happen to be a part of a fashion calendar, a talk show, and hosting the most prestigious Women Appreciation Awards, for which even I happen to have received one of it from
Certainly,
you.
certainly, and certainly, thank you so much. In fact, it's been great that you were a part of it as well. So, fashion calendar, this was something we thought, that my company's name is the Fairy Tales. So, we bring out that fairy sort of a feeling, that every woman should feel special, that she should feel she's in the fairyland. So that's how
Lovely,
we
lovely.
created this calendar, which actually represents a woman in a very surreal way. Like she looks into that different world altogether, that dreamland. She goes into that dreamland.
Beautiful, lovely. And I love the name, Fairy Tales. And it's a
Thank you so
concept-based
much.
event. I believe it's a
Yes, it
concept-based
is.
event management company, and it specializes in fashion, jewelry, lifestyle exhibition, weddings, and corporate club events. Future,
Right.
and
It does.
you've done it in Dubai and Lucknow as well.
Right. So
And
this started. Sorry, please go ahead.
yeah, and I believe this is your main baby. I believe Fairy Tales is your main thing right now, as of now.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So this started back in 2015, and this came in as a another second opportunity while I was in Bora Bora. So I think it started picking up very well, and then we started doing it on a larger scale in places like Ashoka, and that we're doing it in all parts of Delhi. We've successfully completed 5+ years now. We're doing it in all parts of Delhi. In fact, from East Delhi, North Delhi, South Delhi, Central Delhi. In fact, we've met at a couple of my shows as well. You've been there as a guest. Thank you so much. The ones we've done at Ambassador and Ashoka, and
Right.
Lucknow and Dubai came in as a part of it, and it was quite interesting that we could do internationally in Dubai. We've done 4 successful seasons in Dubai. We've done about 3 successful seasons in Lucknow. And definitely, I wish this pandemic was not here this year. Then we could have probably seen. You could have probably, because in the first starting like trimester of this, in the first 3 months, we had about 3 exhibitions in a month itself. So the plan was to go more global this time, but unfortunately, I think our hands have been barred by this pandemic right now. But hopefully, let's see.
I'm sure things will get fine, and we are going to see you going international with these exhibitions. And also, your exhibitions are a lot of fun and entertainment because you kind of introduce that factor into the exhibition. So, where do you get this idea from, and how do you make it so interesting and fun? Is it because of your own, being young and bold and beautiful, and Nikita, or how? Well,
See, thank you so much for the compliment out there. I think when I was starting this fairy tales, it was kind of I kind of knew that people are going for shopping. People go to 8, 8, 10, 10 malls. They don't get anything. So why not make a one-stop solution at one particular place where everybody could just come and get everything under one roof? We've showcased about 5,000 plus brands with this, from all luxury brands to well renowned designers to unique and creative brands and budding designers. Most of them. The idea, when I thought of this, I thought, people do not want just shopping, they want an experience. So let's create a unique and an unforgettable experience. So it should be like your day's agenda, that you have to go to the fairy tales for a complete day. It's not like I have to just go shop and just come back.
right,
Come to us with your kids, come to us with your kids, your family. So there's everything for everyone. It's not like
right.
we're doing a lot of themes, we're doing a lot of concepts. So this was the whole idea, that the business should be for everybody. They should feel a part of the fairy tales. You know how fairy is, she tries to bring dreams into reality for everyone. So this was the
And
whole
sure,
idea of it, to make. Sorry.
yeah, and sure, able to do that for sure because I've been a part of some of your exhibitions and it's been real nice and fun and a lot of life into the thing. So also, Nikita, you are getting into Tuzo management for A-listers, brides, nationally and internationally as
So
well.
this project was supposed to be launched in April, but I think we've just put like we are holding this project now. So hopefully, let's wait for this pandemic to get over. We are coming up with something new as well, which is Truzo management, like you said. But unfortunately, I can't reveal a lot of details about it right now. But certainly soon. I think you being on the luxury side, I think you will have a lot of role to play into this.
More than happy and would love to associate. And also, Nikita, you've been associated with some social causes. If you can tell something about you as a social entrepreneur for a social cause, you know.
Certainly, certainly. So this was back in the school days. I'm a pass out from the Air Force School, so Broder Park. So we used to have these charitable events for Air Force War Widows. So I have been a part of Air Force War Widows. I've been a part of Rotary Club where we've done a lot of charitable work. Even Kargil wartime, we've raised a lot of funds. My mother is a part of Inner Wheel Club. She's a vice president. So somewhere or the other, we keep helping her. Plus, we have our own trust, a family trust, which is called the Karam Prakash Khattar Charitable Trust, where we work for the pulmonary diseases of the people who cannot. Allergy test and pulmonary diseases are done free of cost. The tests for them are done free of cost. Even
That's
during
really
Corona time, what we have done, our charitable trust has done is like we've gone and donated kits, the N95 mask and PPE kits to many hospitals for the doctors. So we've tried and helped about more than about 20,000 doctors in Delhi itself.
wonderful, 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 and such a noble work to do around this time, you know, because it's a need of the hour, and you're doing commendable,
Yes.
I must say. And Nikita Khattar Arya, a good sport with a love of travel and adventure. Creative, innovative, always ready to take challenges and do something new. So, if I may ask you, what next and what new do we see coming from Nikita Khattar Arya?
Trousseau management. You've already said it. The trousseau management is the new concept that we are coming up with. So that's something interesting and something very new that I'm myself looking forward to. It's great that this time I feel it like a blessing in disguise that this pandemic has given me a little more time to probably brush up my skills on it and probably do my more research on it. So that is something
Right.
new that's going to be coming up.
And I'm sure something really interesting, as always, you're going to come up and we're going to be waiting for it. And
It's a new concept
according,
altogether.
yeah. So, what's the definition of luxury according to you, Nikita?
See, I think you are the better, you would be the better person to actually say this because you're a luxury consultant yourself. But definitely, if I put it in a one word, I would say luxury is like a canvas. You can fill it with art the way you like it.
Beautiful, lovely. And I believe dance happens to be your passion, and you are a belly dancer trained, and as well as recently, I think you also train on pole dancing. So
Yes, I did.
we can see from you either belly dancing or pole dancing, anything that you can show the audience.
Certainly, I can. Please, but I would please tell the audience not to laugh on it because trust me, I'm still working my ways around it.
No, it'll be interesting, I'm sure.
Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to put this.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I'm sure the audience can see it as well because I'm able to see it clearly. Oh, wow, that's being like a real sport.
So I think dance keeps me very active. I keep learning something new. Any new form that comes to Delhi keeps me. I think this is it keeps my brain fresh.
And it's pretty unlike then the dances that most of the people go for a learn. Like, you know, belly dancing, very rarely people like, you know, want to learn or pole dancing. So this is something very different that you like to do.
I I think I like to do things different way. That's probably it.
Yeah. So I know, Vicky, maybe it was not very clear, but then whatever best, according to technology, she could show. So we could just have a glimpse of it,
It's
unless you
it's
wanted
on
to
my it's on my Instagram profile. It's on my Instagram profile.
put it on her Instagram. Anybody who would like to see that again. And any message for the audience from you, Nikita, around this time, COVID-19? Would you like to give a message?
I think two very important things. One is that please be vocal if you're suffering through anxiety, depression, or anything that is disturbing you. You have to understand we all are going to go through this together. It's not just you, or it's not just your area, it's not just Delhi, it's not just India, it's the world going through the same situation. Nobody's ever heard, nobody's ever seen, nobody's ever gone through this. So we all, the whole world is together in this, and everybody's trying to find a way to get out of this, come out of this pandemic. Probably trials with vaccination, everything is on. Just be vocal about if you have any issues or any problems, because you're thinking that you're the only one going through this, but you're not the only one. So speak to people around you. And the second thing is, I think people should be really safe. Just stay indoors until unless you have something really important, or if you can work from home, there's nothing that calls you to be outside. Please think of your parents and little kids at home, because I think they are more vulnerable to these diseases more than any of us, because our immunity might be really strong, but they might not be very very strong to probably take this forward. So just please stay home as much as you can, sanitize your hands, follow the basic hygiene, try maintaining it, because it's very important. If we live, we'll make the money. It's just
True.
right now the thing is that survival is the instinct. Right now we need to survive this.
True, true. Lovely message, and especially be vocal. Looking at the times right now, it's the call of the hour. We sure should share our problems, issues with our friends, with our family, and not keep it to ourselves. Be vocal. That's a wonderful message by Nikita. Thank you, Nikita, so much for being on the show. It's been a pleasure hosting you.
Thank you so much. It's been great as well. In fact, I have one small question for you, because this is one thing I really wanted to ask. If you don't mind me asking a question, since you are the host, if I can take the liberty.
Sure, please go ahead.
So, considering the present time, like we are in this pandemic, what do you think would be the definition of luxury today and in the future?
See, I think as if now for today, if you ask me in the current scenario, keeping your mental balance, keeping peace, keeping positive, that's true luxury as of now. And see, as you said, ki jaan hai to jahan hai. So once we
True.
are all safe, we come out of it. There is no limit to luxury. Then then you can have the best of the. It is exceptionally, it's exceptional, extraordinary, out of the world, and that's what it is. Be it a home, be it artwork, be it owning a car or a jet or a yacht, whatever. But as of now, most important is being safe, being home.
Right, right, right. I think my audience would also love that.
Yeah, so definitely we are going to avail all the luxury in life once we are all safe and we are home, and everything gets controlled and we are back to normal. That's the main
Yes,
thing right now. Thank you,
right,
Nikita. Have
true.
a great.
Thank you so much. Thanks a ton.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So it's been an amazing session. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed having interaction with all the people here on madhurisluxury.co. In case if you have missed the show, you can watch it on YouTube. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Bye bye.